Now let us solve some problems on topic of rectangular waveguide in this lecture. Now coming to first problem. Now this is your first problem. A rectangular waveguide, rectangular, generally I will represent rectangular in this form, don't get confused. Rectangular waveguide has dimensions 2.5 centimeters cross 5 centimeters. Now these are the dimensions of a rectangular waveguide that are given in the problem. Now determine lambda g. Now what is lambda g? Guided wavelength, right? Determine, we have to find out guided wavelength. Now this is beta. Beta is nothing but phase constant, and Vp, which is nothing but phase velocity at lambda equals to 4.5 centimeters for dominant mode. Now this is the problem. You have to solve it. Now you have to determine lambda g, beta and Vp using the dimensions, that is 2.5 centimeter cross 5 centimeter at lambda equals to 4.5 centimeter. Now what is given? Now given dimensions are 2.5 centimeter cross 5 centimeter, right? Now this is given dimension 2.5 centimeter cross. Now always A is greater than B, right? Always A is greater than B. Now what is A value? If you follow this criteria, A value is 5 centimeter. Now B value is 2.5 centimeter, right? A value is 5 centimeter and B value is 2.5 centimeter. Now this value is greater than B, right? Now given dimensions, A value is 5 centimeter and B value is 2.5 centimeter, and given lambda equals to 4.5 centimeter, right? Given lambda equals to 4.5 centimeter, lambda naught or lambda both are same, which is nothing but free space wavelength. Lambda naught or lambda both are same, which is nothing but free space wavelength, right? Now using this three, that is A value, using these three values, that is A value given as 5 centimeters and B value that is given as 2.5 centimeter and free space wavelength that is given as 4.5 centimeter. Now using these three parameters, you have to define guided wavelength beta and Vp, right? Now first define lambda g, right? Now first define lambda g, and this is for dominant mode. In problem it is mentioned that dominant mode. Now what is dominant mode? TE10. For a rectangular waveguide, dominant mode is TE10. Dominant mode is nothing but mode with least cutoff frequency. Whatever the mode that is having least cutoff frequency, that particular mode we call it as dominant mode. In a rectangular waveguide, dominant mode is TE10 mode because this mode has least cutoff frequency, right? Now we know, before that calculate Fc because we want lambda c, right? Now TE10, now TE10 is the dominant mode, right? TE10 is dominant mode because this is the mode with least cutoff frequency, right? This is the mode with least cutoff frequency. Now calculate lambda c, right? Now TE10, this is represented as TEMN, mode representation is TEMN. Now if you observe this, M value is 1 and N value is 0, right? M value is 1 and N value is 0. Now calculate cutoff wavelength. What is cutoff wavelength formula? 2AB by under root of M square B square plus N square A square, right? If you don't remember this lambda c, first calculate Fc, then lambda c equals to C by Fc, where you can find out cutoff wavelength, right? Both ways are possible. Calculating Fc and then finding lambda c using formula C by Fc is also done. But if you remember the formula, you can directly calculate these values. Lambda c formula is 2ab by under root of M square B square plus N square A square. Now substitute values, that is 2 into what is A value 5 centimeter and B value is 2.5 centimeter. A value is 5 centimeter, B value is 2.5 centimeter. Now M value is 1 and N value is 0, right? Now B square, M square, B square, right? You have M square, B square. M value is 1, 1 square is again 1, and B square is 2.5 whole square, and N value is 0, and this whole term you will get it as 0. Now solve this. Lambda c equals to 2 into 5 by 2.5. This root of 2.5 square you will get 2.5, and this will get cancelled. Lambda c you will get it as 10 centimeter, right? Lambda c you get it as 10 centimeters, and lambda naught or lambda that is given in problem, that is 4.5 centimeters. Lambda naught or lambda that is given in problem, that is 4.5 centimeter, right? Now we know lambda c, now we know lambda naught. Now you can calculate lambda g, right? You can calculate lambda g, which you want to find out under this problem. Now what is formula? Lambda g equals to lambda naught by under root of 1 minus lambda naught by lambda c square. Now this is formula, right? Now substitute values. Lambda g equals to, what is free space wavelength given in problem, that is 4.5 centimeter. Under root of 1 minus lambda naught is 4.5 and lambda c is 10, right? Now solve this, right? If you solve this, you will get it as lambda g equals to 5.03 centimeters, right? Using calc you can find out directly. You will get lambda g equals to 5.03 centimeter, right? Now first parameter is found out, that is guided wavelength, right? Next calculate Vp, right? Next calculate Vp. Next calculate Vp. Now what is Vp? Phase velocity, right? Now phase velocity equation in terms of cutoff wavelength, right? Equation in terms of cutoff wavelength, that is c by under root of 1 minus lambda by lambda c square. This expression we have derived in previous lecture, that is phase velocity equals to c by under root of 1 minus lambda by lambda c square. If it is in terms of cutoff frequency, you will get fc by f, right? Now substitute values, right? Vp equals to, now velocity of light, that is 3 into 10 power 10 centimeter per second. Now divided by under root of 1 minus 4.5 divided by 10. Free space wavelength that is mentioned in the problem, that is 4.5 centimeter, and cutoff wavelength we have found out for dominant mode, that is TE10 mode. Since it is having least cutoff frequency, we got it as 10 centimeter, right? Now if you solve this, right, if you solve this, you will get 3.35 into 10 power 10 centimeter per second. Now this is the phase velocity, right? 3.35 into 10 power 10 centimeter per second, right? Now we have found out Vp and we have found out lambda g. Now what is left out? Beta, right? Now we know the expression beta equals to omega square mu epsilon minus omega c square mu epsilon. You have to remember all these formulas in order to calculate this parameter, right? Now we know beta term, right, that is under root of omega square mu epsilon minus omega c square mu epsilon. Now from this equation take omega square mu epsilon out, right? You will get omega under root of mu e, right? Omega square mu epsilon e, you take it out from the root, you will get omega under root mu e. Now 1 minus omega c square mu e divided by omega square mu e, right? Now this mu e will get cancelled. Now omega c is nothing but 2 pi fc and omega is nothing but 2 pi f. Now 2 pi again will get cancelled, right? Now directly I am writing omega into under root mu e into under root of 1 minus fc by f whole square, right? Omega c by omega, you will get it as 2 pi fc by 2 pi f. 2 pi again will get cancelled, and finally you will get fc by f whole square, right? Now this is the expression for beta, right? Now we know c is nothing but 1 by under root of mu e, right? C is nothing but 1 by under root of mu e. Now from this expression, root mu e is nothing but 1 by c, right? Root mu e is nothing but 1 by c. Now substitute that value. Now beta equals to omega by c under root of 1 minus fc by f whole square, right? 1 by root mu e is nothing but c and root mu e is nothing but 1 by c. Now substitute that, you will get omega by c under root of 1 minus fc by f whole square, right? 1 minus fc by f whole square. Now what is omega? 2 pi f, right? 2 pi f by c, right? 2 pi f by c into under root of 1 minus fc by f whole square, right? Now this is expression for beta in terms of frequency. Now I want expression for beta in terms of wavelength, right? Now what is lambda? Lambda is nothing but c by f, right? Now this f by c is nothing but 1 by lambda, right? F by c is nothing but 1 by lambda. That means you'll get 2 pi by lambda, right? 2 pi by lambda. See, here you have 2 pi f by c. Now lambda is nothing but c by f, but here you have inverse. That's why you will get 1 by lambda, that is 2 pi by lambda. Now under root of 1 minus, now this fc by f in terms of wavelength is nothing but lambda naught by lambda c square, right? Now this is expression for beta in terms of cutoff wavelength. Now substitute values. Beta equals to 2 pi by, now lambda naught or lambda both are same, that is mentioned in the problem, that is 4.5 centimeters into under root of 1 minus 4.5 divided by 10 square. Now if you solve this, you will get it as 1.246 radians, right? 1.246 radian. Now this is the value of phase constant, right? This is, that means you have to remember all the formulas, right? In order to calculate this phase velocity, group velocity, waveguide parameters, you have to remember all the formulas, right? Now this is how to find out phase velocity, guided wavelength and beta, right? Either you can calculate in terms of frequency or you can calculate in terms of wavelength, but follow only one procedure, either through frequency or through wavelength, right? Now this is about first problem, right? Now coming to next problem, second problem. Now we have to solve this, right? Now this is your problem. A rectangular waveguide with dimensions 3 centimeter cross 2 centimeter operates in TM11 mode, right? Now this is the rectangular waveguide. A rectangular waveguide is there. Now that waveguide has some particular dimension that is mentioned as 3 centimeter and 2 centimeter. And this waveguide, rectangular waveguide, is operating under mode TM11 at 10 gigahertz, right? At 10 gigahertz. Now we have to find out wave impedance of that mode, right? ZTM is nothing but wave impedance of TM mode, right? Now we have to define wave impedance, right? We have to define wave impedance. Now we know wave impedance is nothing but ratio of electric field strength in one direction to the ratio of magnet, that means electric field strength in one transverse direction to the magnetic field strength in opposite transverse direction, which is nothing but Ex by Hy, right? Ex is nothing but electric field strength along x direction and magnetic field strength along y direction, right? Now we have found out derivation of ZTM and ZTE in previous lecture. Again you have to remember that formula, then only you can solve this problem, right? Now given, now what is given? 3 centimeter cross 2 centimeter, right? Now these are the dimensions of a rectangular waveguide. Now always A is greater than B, right? Now if you follow this criteria, what is the value of A? A is nothing but 3 centimeter and B is nothing but 2 centimeter, right? A is nothing but 3 centimeter and B is nothing but 2 centimeter. And this particular waveguide is operating under TM11 mode, right? TM11 mode, and the mode representation, you know that TMMN, right? Either it is TE mode or TM mode. That particular mode is represented as TEMN or TMMN. Now if you compare these two, right? Now what is the value of M? M equals to 1 and N equals to 1, right? M equals to 1 and N equals to 1. And this particular waveguide is operating at a frequency, operating frequency, I am representing it as ODF, which is nothing but operating frequency given in your problem, that is 10 gigahertz, right? Operating frequency is different and cutoff frequency is different. If they mention as cutoff frequency you have to consider it as Fc. That value you have to consider it as Fc, and operating frequency, which is nothing but normal f, right, or normal f, that is given as 10 gigahertz. If they mention cutoff frequency, you have to you have to consider that value as Fc. If they mention operating frequency, you have to consider that value as f, right. Now these are the given values, right. Now these are the given values. Now f is given, m is given, m value is given, and n value is given, and a value is given, and b value is given, right. Now you have to find out wave impedance of the TM11 mode. Now what is the expression? ZTM is nothing but neta into under root of 1 minus lambda by lambda c square, right. 1 minus lambda by lambda c square, or ZTM equals to neta into under root of 1 minus fc by f whole square. Either you can go through lambda, that is through wavelength, by calculating wavelength values, or you can go through by calculating fc values, right. Now I will follow through frequency, right. You can calculate that through lambda by lambda c also, you will get the same values. Either you can calculate ZTM through this formula, or you can calculate ZTM through this formula, you will get same thing, right. Now I am considering this ZTM formula as neta into under root of 1 minus fc by f whole square. Now f is given, right, f is given in your problem, that is 10 gigahertz, right. F is given in problem, that is 10 gigahertz. Now we have to calculate fc. Now what is the expression for fc? Fc equals to c by 2 under root of m by a whole square plus n by b whole square, right. Now you know a value, you know b value, you know m value, and you know n value, right. Now using these values, right, using these values calculate cutoff frequency, right. Fc equals to, now c, that is 3 into 10 power 10 centimeter per second divided by 2 under root of, what is value of m? 1, right, and value of a is 3, 1 by 3 whole square. Now value of n is 1, value of b is 2, 1 by 2 square, right. Now wait a minute, I will bring calculator. Okay, now solve this. That is fc equals to 3 into 10 power 10 divided by 2 under root of, and this you will get 4 plus 9, and this you will get 36, right. 4 plus 9, and this you will get 36, 9 square, 9 fours 36, right. And calculate fc, that is 3 into 10 power 10 divided by 2 into root 13 divided by 6. Under root 36 is 6, right. Now this 3 ones 3 twos, right, 3 ones 3 twos. Now fc, right, fc equals to, now what is the value of root 13? Root 13 is also 3.6, that is 10 into 3.605. Root 13 is 3.605 into 10 power 9 divided by 4, right. And fc you are getting it as 9.01 gigahertz. 10 power 9 is nothing but giga, right. Now you know fc value and you know f value. Now you can calculate, substitute in that formula, that is ZTM. Now what is the value of neta? 377 ohms, right. 377 into under root of 1 minus fc by f, right. Fc value is considered it as 9 gigahertz, and f is given in your problem, that is 10 gigahertz, right. 9 by 10 square, right, 9 by 10 square. Now let me solve totally. 81 divided by 100, that is 0.81, you will get 1 minus of that 0.81. Now this total value ZTM, you are getting it as 164.3 ohms, right? 164.3 ohms. This is how to find out wave impedance, right? Let me explain again. Now given 3 centimeter cross 2 centimeter, right? Always A is greater than B, A equals to 3 centimeters and B equals to 2 centimeter. Now this rectangular waveguide is operating under TM11 mode, that is M equals to 1 and N equals to 1. Operating frequency is given, which is nothing but normal F, only F, which is not FC, right? F is 10 gigahertz, right? Now you know the expression formulas of ZTM in terms of cutoff wavelength and in terms of cutoff frequency. Now I am calculating ZTM through cutoff frequency, right? F is given, right? Only FC you have to calculate. Now what is the expression for FC? C by 2 under root of M by A whole square plus N by B whole square. Now C, velocity of light, 3 into 10 power 10 centimeter per second divided by 2. Now M value is 1, A value is 3, N value is 1, B value is 3. If you solve this totally, FC you are getting it as 9 gigahertz. Now substitute directly in this formula. Neta you know 377 ohms under root of 1 minus, now what is FC? We got it as 9 gigahertz and F is nothing but operating frequency, that is mentioned in the problem, 10 gigahertz. If you solve totally, you are getting it as 164.3 ohms, right? Now this is the wave impedance of, that is wave impedance of TM11 mode, right? Wave impedance of TM11 mode, right? Now coming to next problem, right? Coming to next problem, this is your next problem and this is your previous gate question, right? This is your previous gate question in 1996, I think 1996 or 1997, which is given for 2 marks, right? Now let me solve this problem. Now this is your problem. A hollow rectangular waveguide has A equals to 1.5 centimeter and B equals to 1 centimeter, right? Now dimensions of rectangular waveguide are given. A is 1.5 centimeter, B is 1 centimeter. If you see this, always A is greater than B, right? Now calculate amount of attenuation if frequency of signal is 6 gigahertz, right? Now signal is 6 gigahertz, right? Now we have to calculate, now that signal is getting attenuated. Why? Because that signal frequency is less than cutoff frequency, right? Always waveguide allows the frequencies that are greater than FC, right? Now this frequency is less than cutoff frequency and that's why it is getting attenuated. Now here we have to calculate amount of attenuation, right? Now how can we say directly that signal is getting attenuated? We have to prove it first, right? If we have to check whether the signal is attenuated, though it is mentioned that the amount of attenuation for a frequency of signal is 6 gigahertz. Now first we have to check whether the signal is getting attenuated or it is passed through the waveguide. Now how to check that, right? Now how to check that? See, we know that waveguide allows the frequencies which are greater than FC only, right? It will allows the signal which are greater than FC only. Now what happens if F is less than FC? Signal gets attenuated, right? As I have said while explaining waveguide acting as high pass filter, right? You have to remember these two conditions, right? Waveguide, or else just remember waveguide, any waveguide, not only rectangular waveguide, circular waveguide, you have elliptical waveguide, single digit waveguide, double digit waveguide. All these waveguide acts as high pass filter. You know the meaning of high pass filter, right? It will allow the frequencies which are greater than cutoff frequency only. Below the cutoff frequency, all signals will get attenuated, right? Now we know it will allow the frequencies greater than FC only, but signals with frequencies less than FC, those signals will get attenuated, right? Now we know F, right? Now we have to check whether the signal is getting attenuated or it is passed through the rectangular waveguide, right? Now we know f, right? Now f is given as 6 gigahertz, right? F is given as 6 gigahertz and we have to calculate fc, right? We have to calculate fc. Now what is fc? fc formula is c by 2 under root of m by a whole square plus n by b whole square. Now this is expression for fc, right? This is expression for fc. We know f value and we have to calculate fc. We know f value, we have to calculate fc, right? And fc expression is c by 2 under root of m by a whole square plus n by b whole square. We know a value is mentioned in the problem, that is 1.5 centimeter, and we know b value, that is mentioned in the problem, 1 centimeter. But we don't know mode of operation. That means it is operating under which mode, either it is TE01 mode or TE11 mode or TM11 mode or TM12 mode. We don't know that particular mode of operation, we don't know, right? If in any problem, right, if any given problem mode is not mentioned, you have to consider it as dominant mode. In any given problem, right, in any given problem, if they didn't mention mode, right, mode of operation, just simply you have to consider it as dominant mode of that particular waveguide. Now here it is rectangular waveguide. Now what is dominant mode of rectangular waveguide? TE10 mode, right? Now if now TE10 mode, m value is 1 and n value is 0. Now calculate cutoff frequency. Now fc equals to 3 into 10 power 10 divided by 2 divided by into under root of, now what is value of m? 1, right? Now 1 by a value is given in problem, 1.5 square. Now n value is 0, this whole term will get 0, right? This whole term you will get it as 0. Now fc equals to 3 into 10 power 10 divided by 2 into 1.5. Now finally fc you will get it as 10 gigahertz, right? Finally you are getting fc as 10 gigahertz, right? Now f is given in problem, that is 6 gigahertz, and fc you are getting it as 10 gigahertz, right? That particular rectangular waveguide least cutoff frequency is 10 gigahertz, because dominant mode is nothing but mode with least cutoff frequency, right? That's why in any given problem, if mode is not mentioned, consider it as dominant mode, right? Dominant mode for rectangular waveguide is TE10 mode. That's why I have calculated cutoff frequency. But here you are getting cutoff frequency as 10 gigahertz and frequency of the signal is given as 6 gigahertz. If you compare these two frequencies, f is less than fc, right? F is less than fc. Now what happens if f is less than fc? Signal gets attenuated, right? Signal gets attenuated, right? Now here you have to calculate amount of attenuation, right? Now another case is also possible, right? Now what is another case? You may get f greater than fc also, right? Now at that particular case, what is amount of attenuation, right? Now if f greater than fc, now what it indicates? Waveguide will allow the signal, right? That means the signal is not getting attenuated. Now what is the amount of attenuation? 0, right? Now if f is greater than fc, alpha is 0. Now if f is less than fc, you have to calculate amount of attenuation, right? Now how to calculate amount of attenuation, right? Now gamma, you know the expression for gamma, that is under root of m pi by a whole square plus n pi by b whole square minus omega square mu epsilon, right? This expression I have derived while under waveguide as high pass filter, right? See, everything is interconnected, right? Everything is interconnected. You have to remember all the formulas, otherwise you can't solve this problem, right? And see, this is your previous gate problem, right? This is your previous gate problem. You have to remember all the formulas in order to calculate parameters, right? Now this is expression for gamma. Now what is gamma? Gamma is nothing but alpha plus j beta, right? Gamma is nothing but alpha plus j beta. Now signal is getting attenuated, right? Signal is getting attenuated. That means you won't have any phase term, right? You won't have any phase term. Now this indicates gamma equals to alpha, right? You know the expression for gamma, that is under root of m pi by a whole square plus n pi by b whole square minus omega square mu epsilon. Now what is gamma? Alpha plus j beta, attenuation constant plus imaginary term of phase constant. Since the signal is getting attenuated, you won't get any phase term. That's why gamma equals to alpha. J beta will be 0. That's why gamma equals to alpha. Now what you'll get final equation? Alpha equals to under root of m pi by a whole square plus n pi by b whole square minus omega square mu epsilon, right? Now m pi by a whole square plus n pi by b whole square minus omega square mu epsilon, right? Now this is the amount of attenuation formula for f less than fc. Now for f greater than fc, alpha will be 0, right? Now here you have to calculate, you have to substitute all the values and you have to calculate alpha value. Just a minute. Now alpha is this expression, you won't have any phase term. Now this is expression for alpha, right? Now write that, I am writing that formula again here. Now alpha is nothing but under root of m pi by a whole square plus n pi by b whole square minus omega square mu epsilon, right? Now substitute all the values, calculate amount of attenuation, right? Now that is equals to under root of, now what is the value of m? It is for dominant mode only, right? M value is 1. Now 1 into pi value is 3.14. Now what is a value? That is mentioned in the problem, that is 1.5 centimeter whole square. Now n value is 0. Now this whole term will become 0 minus omega square mu epsilon, right? Now omega is nothing but 2 pi f, right? Now 2 pi into f is nothing but operating frequency. Now that is mentioned in the problem, 6 gigahertz, right? 6 into 10 power 9 whole square. Now this is omega square, that is 2 pi into, omega is nothing but 2 pi f, right? 2 pi into f, operating frequency mentioned in the problem, 6 gigahertz. Now what is mu? Value of mu, 4 pi into 10 power minus 7. Now what is value of E? Mu naught, mu r and E naught, ER, right? And relative permeability, mu r equals to 1 and ER equals to 1 for air, and mu naught value is 4 pi into 10 power minus 7, and E naught is nothing but 10 power minus 9 divided by 36 pi, right? 10 power minus 9 divided by 36 pi, and this pi will get cancelled. Now 4 ones 4 nines, right? 4 ones 4 9, and this under root of 3.14 divided by 1.5 whole square minus, right? And this is nothing but 12 pi, right? 12 pi, right? 12 pi whole square into 10 power 18, right? 12 pi whole square into 10 power 18 into 1 by 9 into 10 power 60, right? Upper term you have in terms of minus, bring it to down, you will get 10 power minus 60, right? And this 16 times left out is 10 square, right? And again I am writing under root of 3.14 square is nothing but 9.8596, and 1.5 square, which is nothing but 0. Let me calculate again. 3.14 into 3.14 is 9.8596, and 1.5 into 1.5, and this is nothing but 2.25, right? 2.25 minus, now expand this, 12 pi square, right? 12 pi is nothing but 144 into pi square is nothing but 3.14 into 3.14, which is nothing but 9.8596, right? Square I am expanding it, and here left out is 10 square divided by 9, right? 10 square divided by 9. Now solve this. 144 into 9.8596 into 100 divided by 9, right? Divided by 9. This total value, if you solve this total value, you are getting it as 15775.36. Now calculate this total value. (9.8596) divided by 2.25. Okay, convert it into meters, right? If I convert it into meters, you will get 1.5 divided by convert it into meters. This is in centimeters, right? If I convert it into meters, you will get 0.000225, right? 0.000225. Now this whole term you are getting it as 4380.44, right? 4380.44. Now if I, and finally I am writing expression that is 4380.44 minus 15775.36, right? Now solve this. 4380.44 4380.44 minus 15775.36. 1577, wait 1577.5.36. okay, after finding the root I am writing that is 167.46. this is the dB per meter, right? dB per meter. Now this is the amount of attenuation, right? dB per meter. This, since all in terms of meters, right, you will get it dB per meter, right? Now this is how to calculate amount of attenuation, right? Amount of attenuation, this is the formula when F less than Fc, right? And if they didn't mention mode, consider it as dominant mode, right? Directly substitute values, right? You will get 167.46 dB per meter. Now this is your third problem, right, which is your previous gate problem under 1996, year 1996, right? Now coming to next problem, last problem, right? Now a rectangular waveguide has A equals to 4 centimeters and B equals to 3 centimeters. Find all modes which will propagate at frequency 5 gigahertz, right? Now we have to find all modes, right? All modes indicates all different TE modes and TM modes, right? Both TE modes and TM modes. Now among the TE modes and TM modes we have TE01, TM01, right? Like this we have different M values and different N value. Now among that all modes which are allowed through the waveguide for a dimensions of A equals to 4 centimeters and B equals to 3 centimeters at a frequency of 5 gigahertz we have to find out, right? Now let us see how to find out, right? Let us see how to find out. Now given, what is given? Dimensions are given, right? Now given A equals to 4 centimeters and B equals to 3 centimeter, right? Dimensions of a waveguide are given and frequency is given, that is 5 gigahertz, right? Frequency is given, that is 5 gigahertz, right? See, while explaining under guided wavelength, that is lambda g, right? We know the expression for lambda g equals to lambda naught by under root of 1 minus lambda naught by lambda c square, right? Now this is expression for, that means relation between free space wavelength, cutoff wavelength and guided wavelength, right? Now this is expression for 3 different wavelengths, right? Now what happens under this? We have raised 3 cases, right? Now lambda greater than lambda c, lambda naught greater than lambda c, lambda naught equals to lambda c and lambda naught less than lambda c. We have raised 3 cases, right? Now what happens if lambda naught greater than lambda c, lambda naught equals to lambda c and lambda naught less than lambda c? Now what happens when lambda naught less than lambda c, right? You will get lambda g, right? When lambda naught is less than lambda c, you will get lambda g that is greater than lambda naught, right? When lambda naught is less than, see, if you see this formula you can compare this. Now consider lambda naught equals to 2 centimeters, lambda c equals to 3 centimeters, satisfies this condition. Now 2 by 3, now what is the value of 2 by 3? If you divide 2 by 3 you will get it as 0.66. Now 1 minus 0.66, what you will get? 1 minus 0.66, that is nothing but 0.34. Now if I find out root, you are getting 0.58, right? If I find out root, you are getting 0.58. Now lambda naught is nothing but, we have considered it as 2, right? Now 2 divided by 0.58, right? We are getting it as 3.44, right? We are getting guided wavelength as 3.54 and we have considered lambda naught equals to 3 centimeter. That means when lambda naught is greater than lambda c, right, you can consider any values, you will get always lambda g greater than lambda naught. Now what happens if lambda naught equals to lambda c? You will get lambda g as imaginary, which is not possible. That means lambda naught should not be equals to lambda c. Now what happens if lambda naught less than lambda c? If lambda naught is less than lambda c, okay, this is for less than and this is for greater. Let me explain again, right? Now lambda g, you know the relation, right? When lambda naught is less than lambda c, right? Now consider, okay, explain me again. Lambda g, you know that lambda naught by under root of 1 minus lambda naught by lambda c square, right? Now here 3 cases arises. Now coming to case 1, consider case 1, lambda naught less than lambda c, right? Now consider lambda naught equals to 2 centimeters and lambda c equals to 3 centimeter. Now substitute, you will get lambda g equals to 2 by under root of 1 minus 2 by 3 whole square, right? Now if you solve this, you are getting lambda g value as solve. Let me solve. 2 divided by 3 is nothing but 0.66 minus 1, which is nothing but under root of 0.333. This value you are getting it as 3.46 centimeters, right? If you compare with lambda naught, now lambda g is greater than lambda naught, right? Always remember, always lambda naught should be less than lambda c and lambda g should be greater than lambda naught for a wave to propagate inside the waveguide. Now let us see other two cases also. Now coming to case 2 where lambda naught equals to lambda c, right? Coming to case 2 where lambda naught equals to lambda c. Now substitute lambda g equals to lambda naught by under root of 1 minus lambda naught by lambda c. Both are same, right? Now this will get cancelled. 1 minus you will get lambda g as imaginary, right? Now this, when lambda naught equals to lambda, which is not existing condition, when lambda g is imaginary, which is not possible condition, right? That's why lambda naught should not be equals to lambda c. Now coming to case 3, right? Coming to case 3, now what is case 3? Lambda naught greater than lambda c. Now when lambda naught greater than lambda c, now what you will get? Now consider case 3, lambda naught greater than lambda c. Lambda naught consider it as 3 centimeters and lambda c consider it as 2 centimeters. After substituting values, right? After substituting values, let me write final value of lambda g after substituting in that formula. Now lambda g equals to lambda naught. What is lambda naught? 3, right? Under root of 1 minus, now lambda naught is 3 and this is 2 whole square, right? Now 1 minus 1.5 whole square, and this is also you are getting it as imaginary only, right? This is also we are getting, this case also doesn't exist, right? Lambda naught greater than lambda c also doesn't exist, because here also you are getting lambda g 1 minus of highest value you are getting, right? 1 minus of highest value, which not possible, right? Now for you have to remember this condition, right? This is also your previous gate problem. I forgot to say this is also previous gate problem in the year 2004, I think, right? Now for a wave to propagate, you have to remember this. For a wave to propagate inside the waveguide, now always lambda naught should be less than lambda c and lambda g should be greater than lambda naught, right? You have to remember these two relations, right? For a wave to propagate inside the waveguide, always free space wavelength should be less than cutoff wavelength, right? If free space wavelength is less than cutoff wavelength, automatically you will get guided wavelength greater than lambda naught, right? Guided wavelength greater than lambda naught. Now given in problem, you have to find out all modes, right? You have to find out all modes. Now let me solve all modes. Now anyhow you know t is 0, 0 doesn't exist, right? T is 0, 0 doesn't exist. Now let us see whether t is 0, 1 is allowed through the waveguide or not, right? Now for t is 0, 1, what is the value of m? M equals to 0 and n equals to 1, right? Now lambda naught, see frequency is given, right? What is given frequency? 5 gigahertz, right? Now from this you can calculate lambda naught or lambda free space wavelength, that is c by f, right? Now substitute. Now lambda equals to 3 into 10 power 10 centimeter per second into 5 into 10 power 9, 5 gigahertz. Here you will get 6 centimeters, right? Free space wavelength lambda naught or lambda, that is given as 6 centimeters, right? Next you calculate lambda c. Now what is lambda c? 2ab by under root of m square b square plus n square a square. Now this is for t is 0, 1 mode. This is for t is 0, 1 mode. Now m value is 0 and n value is 1, right? Now substitute all the values. Now 2 into A is given in problem, that is 4 centimeters, and B is 3 centimeters given in problem. Under root of M value is 0 and N value is 1 and A square is 4 square. Now what you are getting finally, lambda C equals to 2 into 4 into 3 divided by 4. Again you will get 4, this 4 will get cancelled. Now lambda C you are getting it as 6 centimeter, right? Now what is the relation between lambda naught and lambda C? Equal, both are equal. You are getting the relation between lambda naught and lambda C. This particular mode doesn't exist in the waveguide, right? Now let me solve another mode. Now consider TE10 mode, right? TE10 mode. Now for this particular M equals to 1 and N equals to 0. Now calculate lambda C, that is 2 into 4 into 3, 2AB, under root of M square B square. Now B value is 3 square, right? Now this will get cancelled. Now lambda C you are getting it as 8 centimeters, and lambda naught is we have found that is 3 centimeters. Now lambda C is, now here lambda naught is less than lambda C. Now this condition satisfies, right? Now TE10 mode is passed through this particular wave. Like this you have to find out different modes, right? Different modes. TE10, next you have to calculate for TE02, next you have to calculate for TE20. Like this you have to calculate cutoff wavelength for different modes, and you have to find out relation between lambda naught and lambda C, right? And that particular mode is allowed through the waveguide only when free space wavelength is less than cutoff wavelength, right? You have to check free space relation between free space wavelength and cutoff wavelength. If free space wavelength is less than cutoff wavelength, then that particular mode is allowed to the passed through the waveguide, right? This is how to find out different modes. Like this you can calculate different modes that are allowed through this particular waveguide, right? What you have to do is they will mention, if they doesn't mention, they will give dimensions and they will give operating frequency. Using operating frequency you can calculate free space wavelength, right? Only two parameters, free space wavelength and cutoff wavelength, and you have to relate those two. If free space wavelength is less than cutoff wavelength, then that particular mode is allowed through the waveguide, right? If the free space wavelength is not less than cutoff wavelength, then that particular mode is not allowed through the waveguide. You have just remember the relation, right? You have to calculate free space wavelength and you have to calculate cutoff wavelength of a particular mode. You have to relate both, right? And you have to see whether they are equal or whether they are greater than or whether they are less than, right? You have to just remember, when free space wavelength is less than cutoff wavelength only, at that particular time at that particular condition only, that particular mode is allowed through the waveguide, right? Now this is about solved problems.